Why is it literally raining every time I try and film this freaking video? I swear. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here, and welcome to another TBR jar picks my June reads. I can't believe I'm already picking books for June. I honestly have been pretty bad at sticking with my TBRs this year, but I really like doing these videos. It gives me some sort of direction on what I should read next, just because after I finish a book, sometimes it's really hard for me to pick a next read because I'm like, kind of nothing sounds interesting, but I also want to read everything, so it helps me have a little bit of direction, and I do usually read at least one or two from the TBR. We are picking June's reads. I have an actual TBR card with me now. I did a whole video exposing every book that's on here and why I have a TBR card now, so if you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. But we have an actual TBR card with us right here, right now, so I can pick the books as I pull the prompt out. We've got my trusty jar of prompts here. I haven't added any new prompts, but I also don't add the prompts I've used back into the jar, so oh, one just fell out. So that's number one, because that literally just fell out. So for number one, which is a 2023 mystery book. Oh, I know what that is. I, however, can't do it because I gave those books away. New prompt. Okay, so the new prompt is, for the first prompt, start a new series. I'm in the middle of so many series already, guys. What series should I start? We've got the Binding and Keeping 13 series. We've got Indigo Ridge. We've got Uglies. We've got Ember in the Ashes. We've got Kingdom of the Wicked. We've got the Percy Jackson series, the Hunger Games series, the Darkest Mind series. We've got Magnolia Parks. We've got Twilight. I have a lot of series I could start. Okay, so I'm going to start with Magnolia Parks as my start a new series. So I have already technically read this book. Like, I've got a couple tabs in the beginning of it. I read this last year in a reading my favorite booktubers favorite books video, and I just don't think I gave this a proper chance. Like, while yes, I was physically reading the book, which is something I don't usually do as well, I just don't think I really kind of like let myself read it. I was in such a rush to finish the book, to finish the other books, because it was like one of the first kind of like reading challenges I had given myself, that I don't really think I gave the book a proper chance, and I really want to give it another chance. So I think I'm going to pick this one and reread this one, because I've been looking at restarting this series for a while, and plus I have the whole series, so now I'm determined to read the whole series and make myself like this series. If you haven't heard about this book, I don't know if you're living under a rock or not, but it was kind of described to me as like British Gossip Girl type drama without the actual Gossip Girl part. It's just a bunch of rich people having drama, a really toxic relationship. I know not to go into this story expecting like a love story. I know what to expect when I go into this because I have read it. I knew that the first time I read it as well. But this is the first book on June's TBR. Let's choose another one. We have, oh, a couple. Okay. Second book in a series. We have second book in a series. Okay, is there any series I have started where I'm only read the first book? Let me get my series thing from my journal. So I have my little reading journal here that I'm very bad with keeping up with, but I do have a like series tracker page. What series? We've got the Magnolia Parks, which I've only technically read the first one, but I also have chosen the first one for that one. Guys, I might have to choose Daisy Hates. I might have to do it. I might have to do it. Is this the month where I just read the Magnolia Park series? Maybe. Okay, so now we have Daisy Hates, which is the second book in the Magnolia Parks universe, but it's the first book of Daisy Hates, obviously. I remember starting this book. I think I have both books on my Kindle as well, but I remember starting this book and I genuinely only think I got like one chapter in, and then I just didn't continue. I like with this book, however, how there's the little things down the bottom. Oh, you can't see. I know in this book they have like on the page there'll be like a little asterisk or something, or like a number, and you go to the bottom of the page and it's like kind of like a in their head type thing. I think that's really cool. But you've got this one, Daisy Hates is a character that is mentioned throughout Magnolia Parks, and I think this is told in 3 points of views. You've got Daisy Hates, you've got Christian, who is the like love interest, and then you've got Julian, who is Daisy's brother. So I think those are the 3 perspectives you get in this book. Why you get her brother, I'm not too sure, but everyone that I hear talk about this series also loves Julian, and Julian's like one of their favorites. So I'm excited to see him and meet him. I genuinely didn't plan to have both Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates on this TBR, but that's just kind of how it's gone, hasn't it? Let's choose another book. Also, I still haven't read mystery books for April or May. Book with a black cover. Okay, there's lots. Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, which is a dark cover. We've got the Hunger Games series, which is a black cover. Kingdom of the Wicked is a black cover. So the 2 options are Kingdom of the Wicked or Home Before Dark. Do I want fantasy or do I want thriller? Do I want fantasy or do I want thriller? I can't remember the last time I read a fantasy, so I might put a fantasy on here. So for the next prompt is Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco. I've had this on my TBR since Sarah Caroli read this series. She seemed to really like it, so I picked it up. The cover's really nice. I love the skull and the flowers. But I really don't know too much about this series in itself, other than Sarah Caroli really liked it and what she talked about it. But again, this is starting another series, so that's really fun for me. Let's see if I like this or not. Oh, I just scratched my ear and it's all red now. We are over halfway through. Second last prompt is a book that I have been putting off. Wow, okay. They're like, even though you started uni, we're really going to give you just some challenging freaking books. How many books have I been putting off? We've been putting off Binding 13. We've been putting off Wallbreaker, Poppy Wars, The Priory of the Orange Tree, Hunger Games, Twilight, Arcanine, Darker Shade of Magic. This TBR is like, we're just going to give you the most challenging books. I think it's time. I think it's time to finally put Wallbreaker by Brandon Sanderson on the TBR, because I've been putting this book off. She's a bit intimidating. She's a thick book, and she's real fantasy. Not romantasy, she's real fantasy. So how have I gone from not reading like fantasy in ages to now having 2 fantasy books on my TBR? I do love fantasy though, so I don't know why I haven't been reading it, but we're gonna put Wallbreaker by Brandon Sanderson on the June TBR. No promises that I'm actually gonna read it. It'll be on the TBR, but this just says Wallbreaker is the story of 2 sisters who happen to be princesses. The God King, one of them has to marry a lesser god and an immortal, trying to undo the mistakes he made hundreds of years ago. Theirs is a world in which those who die in glory return as gods, a world transformed by biochromatic magic, a power based on an essence known as breath, which can only be collected 1 unit at a time from individual people, but it's worth it by using breath or breathe and drawing upon the color in everyday objects. All manner of miracles and mischiefs can be performed. It sounds interesting, but it also sounds scary. So on the TBR it goes. And now for the last book, we have no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm putting this one back. This one is a book that intimidates me. I just picked a book that intimidates me because I've been putting it off. I'm not picking that. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not doing that one. I'm not. I've already got 2 books that I've been putting off that, like, no. We're choosing another one. I'm sorry, guys. This is the first time I've done this, but no. Free choice! Just to prove, it says free choice. I did put the intimidating one back in the jar, so it's still in there for next time, but free choice. free choice. Do I want to do a physical book or a Kindle book? Okay, I'm going to choose a Kindle book instead of a physical TBR book. One, because I have it on Kindle, and two, because I was about to start it anyway, so might as well put it on the TBR because it was not on the TBR for May, and that is the Idea Review, which, if you didn't know, I think was originally a Harry Styles fan fiction that got turned into a real book that has now been made into a movie starring Anne Hathaway and Nicholas, don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's in literally everything at the moment. I have watched that. I have watched it multiple times. I'm actually going to my mom's house tonight to watch it with her. And I really wanted to read the book. So I'm going to add that to my TBR because I already have it on Kindle. I've already purchased it. So we're adding that one. Okay, and now for a little recap of the books on my June TBR. We have Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings, Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings, Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco, I'm butchering that name, I'm sorry, Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson, and The Idea Review by Robin Lee. That is June's TBR. Now, I usually do add the mystery book onto it, but I haven't read April or May's mystery books yet. I don't know. I've read lots of books for May, surprisingly, but I just haven't read the mystery books. I don't know. I haven't even opened May's mystery books, so I might have to do those, but I do have a June mystery book that may or may not be read in June. I'm not too sure, but that is today's video. I hope you like it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.